You have to learn the game. I mean, for me, it was a chick that turned me on to it.
Were you a pimp?
Yeah, it's like 7 years I ran
7 years a pimp. Is the statute of limitations up? I'll get your ass arrested right now.
I'm not telling you. You snitch. But it was, my situation was I was managing a strip club, and these chicks was selling pussy in the club. Like they was, they would give a guy a lap dance and they would fuck a dude in the club. And right around that time was that whole RICO law with Giuliani where you could get shut down. Like there was this whole vice thing, that 60-40 thing where if your part of your business was 60% of your business was adult in nature, like strip clubs and stuff, 40% had to be something else. That's why we had like the Gramercy. Remember the comedy club was half and half. And I kept fighting with these chicks every day to stop selling pussy. And I was like, what? There's clearly a market here, and there's clearly these bitches that are ready to sell pussy. The problem is, everybody, and don't get me wrong, I mean, when you say drugs, there are elements of drugs where that happened later. Pimping later became...
That was hardcore, though.
Yeah, but that's really what fucked up with the game. That's really what fucked up the pimp game in the first place, was getting girls strung out on drugs. There's always
back in the old days when it was pure.
When it was pure, when it was
before performance-enhancing drugs.
I mean, we were playing on grass. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It was wood bats, and grass. And that was the thing that fucked up the game, because of the fact that you had situations where the guys started instituting getting girls strung out on drugs in order to control them. The thing is, there's always a chick, there's always a hoe. I mean, it's contrary to any belief, there's somebody that wants to fuck.
If there ain't another pimp out there, there's going to be some motherfucking hoes.
There's going to be some motherfucking hoes.
But you're not an old school pimp, though.
But I learned from old school. I learned from old school.
You really don't have it in you to do that.
Well, that's why I stopped.
Right.
But I mean, I had a 7-year run.
Well, 7 years, that's a small run, because it took you 4 years to really learn and understand. Well, so I'll go 3 years. I'm gonna give you 3 years.
You're not gonna give me shit.
I just said.
Drink your fucking wine. Don't tell me what you're giving me, motherfucker. Look, because I was a. Gotta shut him down.
Yeah, he didn't go from an accountant to a pimp. By the way, he did some other hustling before that.
I'm only giving him 3 years. I don't give a shit.
He didn't leave Lehman Brothers and then hit the street corner.
To be a full-on pimp, how long do you think it took for Don? Now, this is around, this is that. Ayanna, I'm going to ask you, how long do you really believe, from not being a pimp to becoming a full-on pimp, how long do you think it took?
What was I doing before I was
So his interning process.
Yeah, he had an intern.
What was I doing before?
This nigga was going getting new panties for the girls at first. First 2 years.
I think you were trying to convince them not to. That's what I heard.
Here's what happened. I was stripping first.
Okay.
I was a male stripper for 11 years prior to that.
Right.
So I was already in the business, and I was already macking bitches and getting money off them, and they was buying me shit and buying me engines from a car and shit like that, coats and shoes. So I was already doing that. This was just a matter of taking.
You mean the midget that bought you the?
Yeah, it was a midget.
Wait a minute, you had a midget? Now I give you 2 years. You got fucking 2 years of pimping only. Well, you pimped a midget?
It's a little person.
Now when you
Thank you.
Now when you say,
come on now, no need to be offensive here.
when you say you pimped a midget, you say that as if it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
What you really should be doing
low-hanging
is
fruit,
giving me giving me the accolades
You
that
left
need
out the wow.
wow.
You pimped a midget. That's the way it should be.
I just want to know where you go to pimp a midget at.
Well, I met this chick and I was like, we were kicking it on the phone. I didn't know she was a midget, and then she lived like 3-4 blocks away.
Wait, whoa. Let me get this straight. Hold on. You didn't see her up front. How did you get her phone number?
I used to, when I was stripping, I used to hand out my business cards. Like at the end of a show, it'd be 800 women, and I would hand out.
And a midget would happen to be.
And I just and she called me, and we was talking. She was that nice voice.
One fell on the floor.
She pulled one out of my sock.
You know,
She had a nice voice. Is that how you gauged?
Well, I was talking on the phone.
And they also never open up every phone conversation by going, just to let you know,
by the way, I'm
right up the top, I'm a midget.
So
anyway,
it was she went to Wagner College. right? And she used to call me on spring break, and we would talk on the phone, and we'd fucking do sex talk on the
horrible, Dante.
fucking phone.
You know what? You are a piece of shit, Dante. Continue.
Why though? He gave her some good loving, like
Conversation.
that she might not have gotten the
She
any.
wouldn't have got
It's hard. Yeah.
So, I was here, and it was like a slow Tuesday, and we was talking. I was like, "Where you live?" And she was like, "I live on New York
Midgetville.
and East Parkway." And so I was like, "Why don't you come over? We can make this shit
You
official."
made her walk with her little legs.
I didn't know she had little legs, but here's the thing: she was 4 blocks away. It took her like a half hour to get here. Damn, this bitch is fucking.
You just thought she was late.
Yeah. And
They got a lot of ass to clean.
Yeah, she had a big
lot of ass.
fucking. She had a
So,
big.
how long did you date this midget?
A transmission and a 350 engine.
Did your transmission blow out and you needed a new one?
No,
or
I
did
used
you
to race.
upgrade it?
I used to race. I used to
That's
drag
so
race cars. And so when she first came, I was like, oh shit. And so I was trying to get her out of the neighborhood because I didn't want my boys to see me. I was with a midget. And then I was like, yo, it's like, you know, I'm
All
just.
you had to do is just tell her to walk.
I was a nice dude. I was still.
You
I
put her
was
in a baby
Not a
carriage.
nice dude,
I was a
although
nice-
You don't want.
I was-
You're afraid to see you with a midget.
He said put her in a baby carriage so that they don't see her.
So I was like, yo, it's just I feel like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to give this, you know, the proper time that this relationship
Whoa,
needs.
hold the fuck up, Dante. Hold it. Now you're pissing me off. Did you just say I'm a nice guy?
Yeah.
3 sentences behind.
Wait, this is coming from someone that songs up a bitch.
Yeah. If
So
Keith is
the-
calling you a piece of shit, I mean,
You're
you
a
gotta,
piece of
you
shit.
gotta take some notice.
Let me just say this for the record. Me, Keith, David Tell, Jim Florentine, Ian Edwards, we was out. We've had a vote about who's a bigger piece of shit, me or Keith, and Keith wins every time.
Every time.
Every fucking time.
First ballot Hall of Fame.
And Keith is a piece of shit, like internationally.
All time though.
I
All
got a
time.
French dude I would call Pete Keith. I've been seeing he's a piece of shit. Of course. Like this nigga, I can call some random nigga. So,
Robinson, he's a wolf.
yeah, Wolf,
God,
he said
there is no
he likes the
midgets
song.
in my stories. When you get a midget in your story,
Here's
Dante
what.
is horrible.
Jealousy is an ugly thing. Green is not your color, Keith. It's not your color.
So Dante, she used her disabilities to buy your
Well,
transmission.
what happened
Oh,
was
she used a disability? You! Fuck you! Jesus Christ! Come on!
so we went up on the parkway. We went up on the parkway, sat on them, and I was like, you know, I'm always working. If I'm not stripping, I'm working. I'm working on my car. And I was like, I'm trying to get this new turbo. And it's like, so I'm always working. And she was like, well, how much is it? And I was like, $4,600. And she was like, well, I could get that for you. And I was like, guess who's fucking a midget?
Oh, that story right there says it all. I could have you arrested.
Andre, get that French dude on the line right now.
Now, does that violate the rules you have now of giving up your manhood?
Sure. I mean, I was 20. I was like 20 years old.
All right. So
That
you-
was, that was 3 weeks ago.
Here's the thing. I actually have a thing for midgets now. Like, I would see a sexy little midget. I'd be like, yeah, I could.
I get a transmission.
That's exactly
No,
what
I mean, I genuinely find like if not with the one with the giant head, but the one
That's
that's
a dwarf. Little people and dwarfs.
it's all the same
How
shit.
do you
Like,
not
I
like
don't
know there was
them?
two
At least
types.
know the types, Dante.
There's like,
you know what?
Wait a minute.
Ayana's right, Dante. You really are a piece of shit. Know
First of
the
all,
types.
there's 100 different types of dwarfism.
Oh,
For
so
real?
you research,
Yeah.
research.
I just
Yeah.
feel okay.
Yeah, there's like 100 different types.
So you
So
just show it.
Did you
No.
do research just to date more?
no, but
He's a connoisseur.
I figured I should know.
Midget bitch kind of.
Dante tears through those conventions like King Kong, just swooping one up in his hand and climbing on top of the scaffolding.
Midgets like straws and shit.
Yeah, 7 of them in one scoop.
Oh, God.
Little male midgets and hang gliders shooting slingshots at me. Get out!
Taking our people.
And so we fucked around for like a year where she just like read my whole fucking race card was all hooked
Did she
up.
ever say she loved you?
Of course.
Did you tell her
Of
you loved
course
her?
I did, Keith.
You piece of
Because
shit.
I did. I loved her
Everything she
in
could
a
do for
special
you.
way. And if you don't understand, that's just because you don't have the ability to love like I love. So don't down on me because you don't have the capacity.
How did she
to
take when you said you were ending the relationship? How did that go?
She tried to get me to pay her back for the transmission. I was like, bitch, that shit is gone. Get the fuck out of here. She tried to get some money back.
Did you get a restraining order against a midget?
All you gotta do is put up a short fence.
A retaining wall. What was the breaking point? Like,
I just couldn't do it no more.
The car
The
was
transmission
so
was
liquid.
done. What do you mean? What's the breaking point? The clutch was working and everything was good.
He was winning races.
Yeah.
Did you hear this?
The check engine light went off. That was
It's over.
He's absolutely a piece of shit. He's absolutely.
I mean, I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old.
The age just got lower.
At times, yeah, he did do it lower by 2 years.
I was 28.
I was 15. I didn't know any better. But do you acknowledge that you think that in your earlier days you might have been a piece of shit for a while?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. I was absolutely a piece of shit. I was a.
When do you think you stopped being a piece of shit?
Good question.
I'm gonna say.
I've only known you as the Regal King.
I know Keith hasn't stopped, but
Yeah, yeah.
when did you?
Whoa, too soon. Too soon.
Hashtag
When
never
did I
forget.
stop being a piece of shit? I think after I got married, after I was divorced, I stopped being a piece of shit.
Wait a minute.
After I got married, after I got divorced.
After I got divorced.
After I got
divorced.
divorced.
So you were still a piece of shit during the marriage.
So,
I was a great husband, but I was a piece of shit.
Let me ask you this right now, Dante.
Yeah.
2015 Dante.
Yeah.
What do we think of this Dante?
I think that I'm
stuttered.
I'm a really good dude. I really think I'm a
You
really
don't
good
believe
dude.
that, Dante?
I do.
I'm going to ask you again. 2015 Dante. Who are you?
I'm a really good dude. I'm a really good dude.
I think that's the case.
I
No, no,
agree too.
Yeah,
See?
I think
You
that's okay.
agree?
I know.
Yeah.
He turned me from a piece of shit to a human being.
Oh, sweet guy.
I mean, if he can do that, I mean, the miracles. You gotta understand.
I'm a miracle
You
worker,
don't
my
even
friend.
know where I came from.
Listen, I walk on water. I can make fish right now. Give me one fish, I'll make 8. I can do it.